I'm in Auckland hotel at the airport. It's still in the middle of the night, maybe 4 o'clock, but I thought about something that I want to share, mainly for myself, but it may be of help. It's about the memory, and there are few instances that highlight some of the key things that I should practice. And whatever I think is important, I try to put on YouTube for my own sake, but perhaps for others. So this is one of those. So about the memory, I forgot to bring iPhone today when I was going for travel, and that's not the good thing. So I had to go back. There's a long story about it, how difficult it was. But when I went back, it was there that I thought I may have posted or stored. That was in the toilet. There's a little shelf I made. So I'm sitting there and sometimes read or put the iPhone and do some check of the email, whatever that is. So when I was leaving, I was doing that. Everything is taken care. So many things to go through. I did it, everything I could. Last thing is to go to potty and get ready and go. Obviously, I left iPhone when I was doing this little email check because I want to make sure that the faucet for the plumbing line to toilet is closed. And that was important because sometimes water gets flooded by some odd mistake or problem in the line. So I forgot that. And now I remember that instance, why I did that, how I can remember. So that's one thing. And that relates to the other memory, which is when I was flying out from Los Angeles airport, I was in the lounge and I had a funny pack in my waist. And in there was iPhone and others. And I was talking with someone, interesting conversation. And when the announcement was made that I had to fly out, because the funny pack belt was tight, I loosened up. And then I have to go. So I left the funny pack. In there was the iPhone, passport, money, everything. Not everything, but important things. When I was to go onto the airport at the gate and into the airplane, I realized that I'm missing. So it's a huge deal if I lose that. I still remember that. So I talked to the person, I need to go back, and she said, I'll take care of it. I'll call and find what happens. Just sit at the seat or something like that. I don't remember. But I was in the airplane already. And lucky enough that the funny pop popped up and everything inside was there. I didn't even check because there's nothing can be done. So this incident, what happened in the toilet, forgetting the iPhone, because iPhone is supposed to go to the funny pack, and funny pack is supposed to be with me. And I lost the sequence at the beginning part of it, although everything else was taken care of. So that was the problem. So during the night, I reflected and I thought, well, what do I do? So the thought is this, whether it's going to work or not, because I thought there has to be something to be done. Let me go to the other example before I get to this. Maybe I forgot what I was going to say. Let's finish this one. So the image that I was to do is, oh yeah, the other story first. So that was a case that I shouldn't forget. So the other case that I thought about, when I was in the bed and woke up in the middle of the night, was a case of someone's email to me, and his close friend, maybe more, and there was some sentence which kind of triggered me to be feeling a little unhappy about. And why did he say that? So I was thinking through what was the cause that he put that line. I'm not going to go into the detail now for the sake of the time. I dwelled on it. So that was the case of memory. I shouldn't be bothered. Just go through Samadhi and forget. Right? So the one case is to remember. The other case is to forget. The one to forget, the way I do it is simple. You may not recognize what I'm trying to say, but this is my sequence. I go into Samadhi, meaning don't think, no mind, no self. And the way to do it, in my case, is just as I focus within myself, the whole body. What it means is that I scan things in my body, like heartbeat and the tension here, or the pressure here, the temperature here, whatever that I can feel. It's basically vipassana, if you know vipassana, scanning the whole body. And when I do that, I usually get this sensation throughout my whole body, vibration. And if it's weak, I do a little bit more, which I should have said in my meditation video in Anapama and Vipassana. I posted on YouTube. And what I do is I twitch my body. Maybe I said it somewhere. Like what I'm doing now is little twitching my bone, spine area, just a few millimeters. And that accentuates the sense of focus, check what's going on in the body, which is the same as connecting to heart that I talk about. Anyway, I don't go much further than that, but that's a way of going through some incident, maybe delusionary thought pops up, and I get rid of it. You can use the word like Namo Amida Butsu just to cut the thought and just be. Let it be. So that's the way to go over delusion, but also that should apply to forget certain memories, like the case of this email. So, one on the memory that I want to remember, there's a certain thing I can do. The other one, I want to forget something I can do. For the one that I want to forget, and you don't want to try too much, because if you try, the memory is reinforced, so that I bring out the image. The image I had was that I remember the funny pack I forgot at the Los Angeles airport, and that was a big deal. So that memory is very vivid. So I thought that forgetting of the iPhone is not putting into the funny pack, and that's connected to the other image. And from the other image and the problem I had, I never had the same mistake anyway, because that was bad enough that I should never forget my funny pack. So I remember that, but I forgot the iPhone in this case. So I want to put the iPhone into funny pack as an image, always connected in my mind, so that that reinforces my memory one to the other. The other is important. The one I had is very important too. So that's how I take care of the image instead of the logic and the word and, oh, that was so bad. I just translate into certain image, and vivid image especially I have in my memory. I still have it. I don't want to lose the image. It's very important. So if you attach one image to the other, if you can manage, like the case of this funny pack, that's one way to do it. So I'm determined to do that, and I'll go sleep with this Samadhi, because that's a way of my body to know what is important. The image is there, the word and the logic is there, all are connected. There may be the neurons that may be connected to each other, and then have that Samadhi and go to sleep. Because delusion, Samadhi, there you go. but there's an image associated so that I can still retain when something similar happens. Okay, so that's one side, which is to go through the delusion and take care of it by forgetting, but not forgetting the key issues, and then having this samadhi to let go, all packaged. And the image also I had was that it's like I use the word riding the wave of universe. My life is to go smoothly. Sometimes I fall into water, like in the surfing analogy. So I can have that image too. There are lots of things that is unnecessary. Delusionary thought, forget it, how to do it. I have this way of focusing in the body, but it's kind of like I thought the images, those unnecessary things we don't want to carry, fall into the water. And the water, there is wave, lots of waves that we have to go through to live life. But we can surf on it, not tangle up and grip that image, but let it be. And then focus on the mission, what I want to do, and whatever is unnecessary is passed away. So that's the image, all related to the memory, unnecessary memory, problem, go over and throw it into the water. And if you're breathing, surfing the blue water, riding the wave, and move forward and go to sleep. The other thing I thought is that there are certain things that you want to remember. So bad thing, and you remember how to deal with it with a good thing. And for some reason, I remember a podcast of Lex Friedman. He and I had almost some encounter, but we didn't do anything. But he is someone I look what he does. He meet bunch of people, interview, and podcast. And one of the podcasts, whatever the reason I remember, is this one that he did recently. That when he's traveling, he brings 4 patties of hamburger. It looks like he may carry something to cook it. And he is saying that he often travel, and he have this scheme that he have this little hamburger, 4 of them, and eat it at the hotel. And I can relate to that, because what's important, you do it. You don't want to be looking for things and wasting time and not eating the food, and the environment is different. So you want to have a standardized process of how you deal with the important thing. In this case, eating nutritious food. And I thought that was funny because I have the same image of doing certain things. So in his case, he's sharing this with whoever wants to watch. And he said he was super happy to do that. I can relate to that. And he's also super happy, I think, to be able to share this experience. Why? Because it's good for him. It may be good for others. So my view of YouTube and what I do, and even talking about this case of the funny pack and iPhone, stuff like that. His case was hamburger or the meat patty. In my case, was the iPhone and funny pack. He used the YouTube, and he had many people watch. My YouTube, maybe thousands of the visitors that watch. But the concept is the same. I use the word the mini universe. I have my universe. He's got his universe. His mini universe is much bigger than mine. But it doesn't matter. We live given the situation of what we got and make the most of what we do. and he's eating this meat patty, happy, and I have stuff here I bring and eat instead of going out, and that gives me pleasure. My case was that I had the mackerel can of mackerel, and there was extra avocado. So I have other things, but that's few of them I brought and I ate, and it was so delicious, and it's good for me. That's extra thing that I'm talking more than I thought to share about the memory and the discipline, samadhi, have an image, connection, reinforce what needs to be done, and what needs to be forgotten, you talk about something in certain way so that you can throw it to the water and it goes down. At the core of the ocean is peace. And I'm riding on the wave. That's the image. Also, the good thing you emphasize, accentuate, and maybe feel quite odd and funny. And you may think it's odd and funny for me to talk about this in the middle of the night. But if it's important, accentuate, make it visible. Have a story to go with it. All the things I spend time on this, hopefully there's no guarantee, but it's like a neurons of different element. And there's a reason to keep it, there's a reason to forget it. There's a way to do it in practice, but in addition to that, I use the YouTube and not sleeping, but to me, this is kind of fun. Maybe adding more element to my life to ride the wave of the ocean. I'm going to go to sleep. Good night. Hope I have a good trip tomorrow.